Perfection is within your grasp. And the question is not how we do it, but how we do it effortlessly. This is easy. It's so easy. It is so
About
easy.
halfway through the game, the
Being
perspective
perfect is
shifts.
effortless. Oh my gosh! So I'm playing this game called The Beginner's Guide, and it is a random game I found on Steam for sale, and I decided to go ahead and try it out. And actually, turns out this is one of the deepest games I think I've ever played, but also too, it has some comedy moments in here that I find hilarious. This was all streamed live on Twitch, so if you want to come over here and check it out next time, then stop on by. Yeah, let's go ahead and just hop straight into the video because I love this game. Hello everybody, FYB here, and today we're gonna be playing The Beginner's Guide. Make sure audio is on. It's on. I don't know what this game is about. I saw it on sale on Steam, and I just went ahead and got it.
Hi there. Thank you very much for playing.
Whoa, I need like anytime I play a game, I always need like closed captioning because
The
I
Beginner's
can't ever
Guide.
tell what they're saying.
My name is Davey Reedon. I wrote The Stanley Parable, and while that game tells a pretty absurd story, today I'm going to tell you about a series of events that happened between 2008 and 2011.
Okay.
We're going to look at the games made by a friend of mine named Coda. Now, these games mean a lot to me. I met Coda in early 2009 at a time when I was really struggling with some personal stuff, and his work pointed me in a very powerful direction. I found it to be a good reference point for the kinds of creative works that I wanted to make. So just to start you off, this is, I think, the first game he ever made. It's a level for Counter-Strike. You can walk around here, by the way. And mostly it's just Coda learning the basics of building a 3D environment. But what I like is that even though he starts from the simple aesthetic of a desert town, he then scatters these colorful abstract blobs and impossible floating crates around the level. And of course, it destroys the illusion that this actually is a desert town, and instead this level becomes a kind of calling card from its creator. It's like a reminder that this video game was constructed by a real person. And it kind of makes you wonder, what was going through his head as he was building this? This is what I like about all of Coda's games. I mean, not that they're all fascinating as games, but that they are all going to give us access to their creator. I want us to see past the games themselves. I want to get to know who this human being really is. And that's exactly what we're going to do.
This is no offense to
So, it's
people who made this, but I feel
Coda
like
starts making these games, and he never releases any of them. He doesn't put them onto the internet, he just makes them and then immediately abandons them, and they sit on his computer forever. And I think he really understood this image of himself as a recluse. At one point, he jokingly renamed his computer's recycling bin to Important Games Folder. So, this was just how he worked. He tended to crank them out one after the other without even really pausing to try to understand what he had just made, until suddenly one day, he just stopped. In 2011, that was it. He made his last game, and then he hasn't made another one since. And that's why I've taken this opportunity to gather all of his work together, is because I find his games powerful and interesting, and I'd like this collection to reach him, to maybe encourage him to start creating again. And if the people like you who play this also happen to find his work interesting, then I'm sure it'll just send that much stronger of a message of encouragement to Coda. So thanks for joining me on this. If you have a particular interpretation that I haven't mentioned here, or if you just need to get in touch, you can email me at daveyWreden@gmail.com.
Okay,
that's about it for introduction. Let's take a look at Coda's first proper game.
let me make sure that my closed captioning is on. Look, here's the thing, and this is like no offense to, the guy who made this, but I feel like Coda, whenever he was making this, he didn't care
I'll show
that
you
deep.
the date that it was completed. This first one was made in November 2008.
Coda, in all actuality, was probably just like, oh man, let me just put a bunch of splashes over. What the fuck is going on? What?
This game is called Escape from Whisper, and it's one of the more generic games you'll see from Coda.
I'm out of ammo already. Okay. Whisper machine. Set us active. Evacuate immediately. You ain't gotta tell me twice. I'm out of here.
Security call breached. Hostile alien life forms inbound.
Hostile aliens?
It kinda looks like this game was abandoned mid-development. For instance, you have this gun, which you'd think would indicate that there are supposed to be monsters or enemies somewhere, but then clearly there are no enemies anywhere. You can't even reload the gun when you run out of bullets. But ultimately we don't really know. Maybe Coda thought that actually it was complete the way that it is. And I think that we should talk about his games for what they are, rather than for what they're not.
Enemy force neutralized.
What does that even mean?
I love how you can see the bottom of the universe from this room.
It just seems like he really liked Halo or something. I don't know. I don't know. I just feel like these games are like they're
Apparently,
okay.
the space station has a labyrinth on it. Sure, I don't know. There's really no reason for it that I've ever been able to discern, so in the interest of time, I'm just gonna skip you on past it. Okay, this is the part that's interesting. The game has this narrative about the Whisper machine and how it has to be turned off, and then you get to the engine room.
Hey, you there, in the engine room. You could save us all. That beam is powering the Whisper machine. We could disrupt it by introducing a great enough heat signature. If you...
No.
Your body could stop the beam.
Why?
It's so much to ask, but for all of our lives, would you do it? Could you give yourself?
No. No.
Let me pause here for a second. What you just experienced, stepping into the beam and then dying,
It didn't even look like it
is
worked.
probably what Coda had initially intended when he was developing this level. But when he first compiles and plays it, something goes wrong. There's a bug somewhere. And this is what happens instead.
Uh-oh. Let's see. It looks like it's just
The beam causes you to
forward,
start floating.
left, all the way
And
down,
this is an important
left.
moment for him. Because
Nope.
yes, this is technically a glitch, but Coda identifies something human about it. Like how small it makes you feel in the face of this larger chaotic system. Or this floating could be the afterlife, a peaceful place, juxtaposed against all of the hysteria that you've just had to traverse. I don't even know. I have no idea what he was thinking, but what's clear is that after making this, something lodges itself in his brain. He wants to do more of these really weird and experimental designs. So he stops work on this and moves on to a stream of tiny little games that go in all sorts of directions. Let's go ahead and take a look at the first game he made after leaving this one behind.
I'm gonna lie, these star systems are actually high quality for 2008, I think.
Yep, in this game you can only walk backwards.
Okay. But the future cannot
So
be
it's a
seen.
short and relatively minimalist experiment
Keep
combining
changing?
motion
Why
and
does the future
narrative.
keep changing?
It is less advanced than the previous game, but actually it seems to be more focused, more complete.
When she
Coda's
stops and
trying
looks,
to
it
give
becomes
it a
clear.
unique voice rather than simply basing it on a pre-existing trope.
Honestly, I feel like this game would be kind of alright. If the future's behind her, how she found the strength to confront it.
It's a short little thought, it says what it wants to say, and then it ends. Didn't need anything more than that.
That one was
Which to
pretty
me
cool.
is why it works, because it gets out quick. Okay, next one.
We're now entering. I don't know, I feel like it's kind of creepy now. I mean, I don't know why. I just feel like if fact that it's so dark. It's
And that's it. Okay,
What?
the meaning of this game won't be clear just yet. Please be patient with me for a few more games, and I promise you'll see what makes it interesting.
okay. Okay, you know what?
Oftentimes,
Nonsense
Coda
in
would
nearly
put
every
bizarre
direction.
titles like this one at the start of his games. I wish I'd known him at the time that he was making these early games. He would really only talk to me about his work as he was making it. Once he stopped work on a game, like, that was it. It was dead to him. And I don't agree with that at all, but what are you gonna do? Once you've been slowed to an absolute crawl, the door at the top of the stairs opens. So why, if Coda's not showing these games to anyone, why bother opening the door at all? Well, to show you, I'm modifying the game here so that when you press enter, it'll bring you back up to full speed so you can enter the door for yourself.
What if I just go up there without pressing enter? What if I really just tough it out? See, it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, maybe like 17 more bars to go through, and it takes me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, around 20 seconds or so to get past it. So it really just taking like 5 minutes to get up there. I'm just pressing the W key. It's not even that bad. You know, since I'm live streaming this, like I feel like I'm only doing this because I feel like there's an achievement at the end, which there most likely isn't. I didn't even check, but like whenever I'm editing it, I'll fix it in post where I'm just like super fast, so that way it just looks normal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like 8 more bars left. Mind if you include this one. Another way you can hear the wind going as if like you have to earn it. Like, that's right, you made it this far, you're so high up, woo! When in all actuality, I'm literally just 50 or so stairs up. If I, like, here's the thing, right? Like, whenever it comes to, like, oh, what kind of, like, what body type would you have in any anime? I'd choose Cloud. Not because it's, like, oh, he's the strongest, but just because it's, like, that dude can climb, like, a multiple of stairs, like, or, like, Zack, Fair. Because, in Final Fantasy VII Remake, they go up, like, 100 flights of stairs, like, easy. Or at least 100, it feels like. We made it! Now, what's in here? What's our grand prize? It's like an orange beam. It's a whole block of cheese. I just have to get past the door. No. He said, on the next staring at a bear for 3 hours. A game where you collect items except the game automatically glitch when you collect them all. The game only posted in concept art showing where the game is intended to be. You're in a shop inside your own body, selling organs strategically to make the most money before you die.
With little ideas for games.
A game of only motivation clothes played one after the other while the player cannot move.
Coda would often tell me that
He
he didn't
plays
mind if people
sound.
thought of him as cold or distant. He said that he knew that he was actually a vibrant and compassionate person, but that it takes time to really see that. It can be a very slow climb to get there.
The game is nothing but giant blocks of text explaining what's happening. It's like a Fallout game. No, we walk around talking people down. Ready, set, fish. Is this a fishing game? I love fishing games. Where's the fishing rod? Whoa, what the? Where'd the door go?
Well, this is new for Coda. It's an actual puzzle. Go ahead and see if you can solve it.
Oh.
Don't forget that solution, because we're going to see this puzzle again soon. We're gonna see it a lot.
A lot? You can do more than one puzzle?
So that seems to be it, right? You walk down a corridor, you solve a puzzle, you get to the end. Simple enough. Alright, now I'm going to modify the game again, so that when you press enter, it'll remove all of the walls from this room.
What the hell? Oh my god.
How about that? There was more to it than we had any way of knowing. I actually find it funny that this game comes after the Stairs game, since they essentially convey the opposite idea. So, in the Stairs game, a dull exterior concealed a rich interior. And then, in this level, a dull interior hides this fantastic outer world. Either way, I think that the point is the same, is that most of the time you don't get to know what you're missing, or even that you're missing anything. That's not your role as a player. So if your role here is not to understand, then what is it?
To enjoy, maybe? I don't know. Back here again. You're now exiting, okay?
So, this, combined with the entering game from earlier, tells us that Coda believes his games are connected somehow. It could even be that the Stairs game and the puzzle game are literally connected in between this and the entering game. There's a bigger picture that all of his games are meant to play a role in, some larger meaning that we won't be able to grasp until we've seen all of them. And once we have, we can step back and start to understand what exactly that bigger picture is.
Right, yeah. That makes sense, I think. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Ooh, it's a house. I
Let's
can
talk
be
about video
all
game development for a second.
alone.
Every video game runs on what's called an engine, which determines what the game can and cannot do. So in other words, the engine is a set of tools for game development. To make all of these games, Coda is using an engine called Source. Like all engines, Source has certain things that it does well, and it has certain things that it does poorly. One of the things that it does very well is boxy linear corridors. That's why so many of Coda's games are set in these large, flat, empty rooms, is just because he's working with what the engine does well. The tools available to the creator shape what kinds of creative work they're going to end up making. You might consider paying attention to the architecture in Coda's games to notice how they seem to stem from an engine that's very good at producing linear, boxy corridors.
I guess that's why all Counter-Strike maps are all boxy. Oh my gosh. Oh! Okay. Whoa.
This prison, funny enough, in Coda's original design, the doors stayed shut for a full hour before letting you go.
What is
If you
starting to
don't
sound
mind,
more
I
and
think
more
we're
like
gonna
Hideo
skip that.
Kojima.
This is something that he and I used to argue about a lot. You know, whether a game ought to actually be playable, whether it means anything if no one can get through it. And I would always defend that, you know, all this work goes into the game, why not make it playable and accessible? And so we just got into heated arguments over it, and there was one time that after one of these conversations, he went home, and a day or two later, he sent me a zip file entitled Playable Games that was full of hundreds of individual games, each of which was just an empty box that you walked around in.
Yeah,
and
this guy sounds like
nothing
Hideo
else.
Kojima.
Believe me, I played every single one of those just to find out if there was like a gag hidden somewhere. There wasn't.
I mean, I guess maybe he doesn't consider these games or whatever. Maybe he just considers them like art or something. Like Hideo Kojima. This
It's the
stupid puzzle?
again, with the exact same solution as the last time. There's still no clear indication of what makes this puzzle so special that Coda is going to return to it over and
I'm sorry, it's just, you know... Okay, I can't turn it down, because I was about to say, like, the music gets kind of
I'll share
annoying.
with you my interpretation very shortly.
Either did you come from above, what was
Here,
up there?
Coda begins using a kind of dialogue system that he fashioned out of the engine's chat capabilities. Use the 1, 2, 3 buttons on your keyboard to respond.
World stamped in whiteness. That's the world above, you've been there. There's a point, did you get through a puzzle with 2 doors and switches? Yeah, I did. Perfect, now tell us how you solved it, tell us the solution and how to get to the other side. I didn't solve it, someone else let me in. I'm just lying to them. You didn't solve it? So you have learned nothing. You cannot help us escape this prison. You are not the one I need. Surely there'll be someone else. I have a funny feeling that everybody who comes through here just lies. They're like, no, I didn't do it. Hello, did you pass through, or was the puzzle? Was there a puzzle you had to do? Yeah, I do. You want to know how to solve it? No, we actually find the black space between the doors to be far more interesting. Have you seen it? Yeah, that was a strange feeling. Don't think too hard about it. You'll see it again soon.
And so we make one last descent down to the final floor of the level.
Okay. We found the black space be far more interesting. Alright, don't think about it too hard, we just like it.
It's a lamppost. Okay,
Oh.
I can't tell you quite why, but for some reason Coda fixates on this lamppost. It's going to appear at the end of every single one of his games from here on out. I'll tell you what I think. I think that up to this point, you know, he's been making really strange and abstract games with no clear purpose, and maybe you can only float around in that headspace for so long. Because now he wants something to hold on to. He wants a reference point. He wants the work to be leading to something. He wants a destination, which is what this lamppost is. It's a destination. We're going to see it in the work as well. His games are just going to become a lot more cohesive, a lot more fully developed, with more of a clear idea behind them. And as we go,
Okay.
that idea will get clearer and clearer and clearer.
Okay. The game is connected. This game is connected to the internet. As you walk around, you can leave notes. All notes you see are left by other players. Nice room, not.
So first off, I'm sure you can deduce this, but this game is not connected to the internet. All of the notes that you're gonna see have been written by Coda. This was actually the first game of his that I ever played. This was shortly after I met him at a weekend game jam in Sacramento, where I grew up. I saw him working on this very level, and it was just so different from anything that anyone else was doing. So right away I was like, I have to be friends with this person. In retrospect, I think I was probably a bit too pushy trying to get his attention. I was over-enthusiastic. But he was very gracious
What does that
about it
mean?
and very patient with me. And I cooled off eventually. Oh, feel free to skip over any of these notes if they're not doing anything for you. Nothing extra is going to happen if you read all of them. Either way, to me they convey a sense of loneliness. I see this person who's filled with thoughts and feelings and beliefs and has no way to express them except as scattered and unheard voices in a game that wasn't meant to be played.
How did you get all these games?
But it's ironic, isn't it, that in playing this game and seeing how alone Coda often felt, that we get to know him better and actually kind of connect with him. And I have to be honest with you, this idea is really seductive to me. That I could just play someone's game and see the voices in their head and get to know them better and have to do less of the messy in-person socializing. I could just get to know you through your work. I think this is why I always liked Coda's games so much, is because it felt like they let me have that connection. I felt as though he was inviting me personally into his world.
I think you're
And then I
overthinking
feel
it.
less lonely too.
I feel like these games are a coping mechanism for you. I feel like you made Coda mad, and that's why he's not making games no more.
At the end of this level, we're going to see the puzzle again. And here, I'll tell you what I think the puzzle means. Each of these games represents an idea that was on Coda's mind at the time that he was making it. And the puzzle is a way of closing the door on a previous chapter of his life before moving on to the next one. In each of his games, after exploring a theme that, he might find difficult, Coda can then place this puzzle that he
Are you not
knows
gonna talk
has
about
a
the
reliable
voices?
solution, he understands exactly how it works, and so it gives him a simple mechanism for moving on.
This doesn't make sense. The second door won't open.
And because there's this dark area between the doors, a space between spaces, before you move on, you get to pause. Just for a moment, a few seconds to reflect on and let go of the events that led you here. To step back and connect the pieces together. To grasp at that elusive bigger picture.
Resident Evil? Talk to you? I don't want to talk to you. What if I don't want to? This is exactly why you're too pushy. This way no one wants to talk to you. Porn stars
this
die
one's
too.
tough. It's gonna kinda just spin its own wheels for a few minutes. Hang with it.
Coda, what the hell were you talking about? Maybe this guy's Coda, and that's why he's like, am I deep? Am I philosophical? No, just random. Am I a porn star? Is that what's gonna happen? Am I gonna die?
See, this is it. The whole game. And there's nothing that's particularly interesting about it. You just walk to the end of a hallway. Except, for some reason, Coda gets really fixated on this prison that has all of this modern furniture. And I don't know why, but he decides he needs to revisit this prison. He's gonna start over, use the same assets, turn it into something else. Okay, cool. Here's version 2.
Okay. I was trying to ensure I was going to the center of the room. Cut a giant hole in the ground. They're along the wall of the room. 10 stoves. I think we should light up this room a bit. Put live Tesla coils in each corner. Yeah. And a table. You need a table. Tables were invented in 1935. What the hell?
There's a bit more to this one, but still, it's not really communicating anything. It's kind of just weird for weirdness' sake.
Now I know why it took so long to download this game.
So, okay, he throws it out and starts over. This time he comes at the prison idea from a different direction.
Please walk forward. Okay. This guide will enable you to escape any prison environment. Following the instructions carefully, take care that you remember each step. First, click on this table. Good, go over to the photo frame and click it slightly. Now turn the floor lamp in this room off and then turn it back on. Go to the left sofa, move it over a little. Finally touch the shelves. That's it, and the real prison, the escape will now open. Return to the star and be taken back to your prison. Okay. Whee! I forgot everything I just said.
And of course, now the table is gone and you can't begin the chain of events to escape.
What was the table?
Here's a version where there are no bars, but you can't actually get to the well. And then a version where the inside of the prison is the outside and the outside is the inside. Let me just blink you real quick through a few more of these. I mean, he really unloaded on this prison idea. There's nearly a dozen of them. Personally,
Nearly a dozen?
it's awful to watch this. To see a person basically unraveling through their work. And
Another
for
puzzle?
Like, at what point do you just go, maybe there are game ideas other than this prison that I could be working on? But Coda doesn't have that voice telling you to stop. That particular mechanism of defense against yourself. Without it, you just spiral. And so he keeps going and going and going and going and going, and then he hits on something. And he likes it. And that's it. He's done. He stops making prisons. This is the very last version of the prison game that he created. And the reason I think it works is that the prison is not actually in it.
Okay. Ah! Hello? Who's this? Hey, it's me. I'm you from after you escaped the prison. You're me? I think this is a prank call. So you were trapped in this prison too? Yep, I was in the furniture maze.
And so this is what Coda wants, is to be able
That's where I am
talk
right
to
now.
someone, to share
I'm so
what's
glad
on
to know
his
that I get out
mind,
eventually.
and to get some good advice from
What's it
someone
like to
who
escape?
knows. But the irony is that even in this scenario,
Uh,
you're still talking to yourself. You know, all
It
of these games
feels
so
like
far
being
are
completely still and
Coda
wildly in
talking
motion
to
at the same
himself.
time. Do you feel any different? Sometimes I'm scared I'll get out and then things will be exactly the same as before. It does change. I don't feel like I'm the same person at all. Oh, good. That's so nice to hear. That makes me feel very happy. It just kind of does that, you know? Wait, if you're me, then did you get a call from another version of you when you were trapped? Yeah, I did. That's how I escaped. What did they tell you? What did you have to do when you got out? They asked me how I felt about being imprisoned. What? That freed you? How does that work? Just tell me how you feel. Okay, I feel afraid that nothing will ever change. Go on.
I can see why he considers this a fitting conclusion to the prison games. After all of the obsession and frustration, just to be told by someone you can trust that things are going to be okay. Wouldn't that be nice?
I kind of relate to that a little bit. Just a tad.
So what would it look like if Coda wanted to make a game about talking to someone other than himself?
Ooh. I like snowy areas.
To me, this environment is meant to represent Coda's puzzle, with the two doors on either side and a dark transitional space between.
I would like to have a house like this. Just something in, like, the middle of what looks to be nowhere. Well, thank goodness, I'm glad as all heck that you showed up. Thought I might have to clean this entire house all by myself. And right miserable that would have been. Everyone knows lonesome hands make lousy homes.
You'll notice that
Lousy
the
homes
quality
make
of the
home
art is a
loners.
step up from previous games, including this new and improved chat
Ha!
system, which he started using.
Someone tells
from
me
this
you're going to
point
be
on.
fun to do this job with.
From
This
here
place is
on
going to
out,
clean
he
itself as
begins
far as I
putting
know.
much
I'll
more
finish up
effort
here. In the
into
meantime, could you
visual
please clear the
polish of
table?
his work. And this particular game took 2 months to create.
Much
as
nicer.
a
That's the
result.
table I want to see. Now could you run to the bathroom and make the bed? Of course. There we go. Go in there. Go ahead and straighten the rug up a bit. All the little details matter. How'd you get this job? A friend dragged me along at the time when I was particularly desperate for cash. Turns out I never felt so good for doing something for money in my whole life. Maybe did like clean my own home. I might get some demons I ain't ready to face yet. Well, speaking of demons, someone put this couch all in a mess. Would you straighten out and straighten? Will you come out and straighten the pillows? Oh dear, looks like someone's about to drink over that couch. Maybe mop that up while you're there. I feel compared to sharing incredibly cheesy personal insight. You know that? Make it especially. No. No, stupid. Sorry. Never mind. Yeah, those dishes need to be washed. Why don't you come do that? Just I checked the tub needed cleaning. Why don't you scrub it down as best you can? You need to be perfect. We're all just human. All the books are scattered on the floor of the bedroom. If so, could you put them back on the shelf? Here we go. Perfect. Now then, how about you come over here and clear the dishes off the table?
After the intense set of prison games, this house cleaning level almost feels like cleansing. It's the moment
all the houses
after a
this easy to
particularly
clean?
difficult or traumatic experience.
Darling, let me tell
where
you
just
something.
need to let it
In your
sit
lifetime, you're going to clean a lot
and
of houses.
digest inside of you.
Among all of those, a
And
few of them will even
eventually
stick out as truly
cohere
wonderful,
into
beautiful
something
experiences. And none of them will be the ones that are easy. Just something to think about while you smooth over that rug in the bedroom.
I know that Coda really liked this game. Of all of his work, actually, this was the only one that
Actually,
he
the tub's gotten really
called
great.
me
Would you want
up
to
to
tidy me up
ask
a
me
bit?
to come over and look at it. This was during a period of a few months where he was like grossly happy.
Really, when I said I
all
had a
the
cheesy
time.
thought.
Just walked
I was
around.
going to
with
say
a
it occurs to me that
constant
one's
smile on
house
his
is a lot
face.
like one's soul. You take care of it, it takes care of you. Don't know why I feel so weird about saying that. There's a bit of truth in it, no? Anyway. So, housekeeping. Let's keep doing this. Books. Would you please clean up the books? Thanks. Oh goodness, the pillows over on the couch are a
I'm
mess.
glad he made this.
We should go over and straighten them up
I'm
a bit.
glad he
You can't
found some
have
peace.
folks coming home to a messy couch. Question.
But
Did you
of
enjoy
course,
this?
it can't last. The music stops, your companion is gone, it's time to leave. The door at the top of the hill is now open as well. Again, you can't stay in the dark space for too long. You just can't. You have to keep moving. It's how you stay alive. Which is the whole point of the puzzle doors, right? That sooner or later you have to pick up and move. I really thought that was the point of it.
Games you
This
love
one
at
gets
members
a
only
bit
prices. Why did you come here today? Was it to improve your life? Was it to get a better job? Was it to make your relationships more meaningful? No. You came here to be perfect. This workshop is going to teach you how to be perfect. I want your friends, the people in your life, to look at you and think, wow, this person is a better human being than I am. Right now, who do you think about that way in your own life? Who do you think is so well-developed as a person that they make you feel disgusted with yourself, compared to whom you feel useless, selfish, ungrateful? I intend to make you into that person. Perfection is within your grasp. And the question is not how we do it, but how we do it effortlessly. This is easy. It's so easy. It is so
About
easy.
halfway through the game, the
Being
perspective
perfect is
shifts.
effortless. Oh my gosh! On the way to work, I told an elderly person to start contributing to society.
And you play as the teacher. And suddenly, you discover that your teacher is just as
Let me
bigoted
tell
and afraid as you are.
Being alone must
And
be
also,
awful.
you can move around the classroom now.
Drinking is not hurting my life. Seeking out the only thing. What is the easiest, most simple path forward? Just kidding. Holy shit, some of you guys, they're still coming out of the back of the room, look out. I'm coming for you. It's gonna destroy you.
I felt pretty hard for this one.
Faction.
I feel like it's one of the most relatable experiences that you can have. To assume that some other person is perfect and totally fulfilled in every way, and completely miss all of the little flaws that make them painfully human.
Holy shit, there's someone coming. There's someone coming for you guys. It's a black hole. Get out of there.
This one took a lot longer than all the others for Coda to make. It was 4 months between this and the last one. That's twice as long as it took him to make any other game before this, and it's not like it's particularly complex, so I remember I found that a little strange at the time.
Whoa. There may be trouble ahead, but while there's moonlight and music and love and romance, let's face the music and dance. Against this wall. There. Good, stay right there. Coming across this room in this chair is a professional photographer of animals. It's your dream to photograph animals professionally. This is your one chance to learn something from her to gain something to succeed. Go on, say something to her. Where's the bathroom? What are you doing? You're deflecting, you're not saying what's actually on your mind. Stop changing around and have a conversation with this person. Do it again. I'm super scared right now. No, that's not what I said to her at all. Completely messing with the tone of the conversation. I was reserved, I knew what I wanted. I was confident. For some reason I just felt like that one moment, but I was confident. Maybe it's that you need better feel like saying there was a lot of people around us. Give some props to work with. These cones that bounce when you touch them represent the people nearby. Yay! Talk to her again. What are some sacrifices you had to make? You're messing it all up again. You'll freak her out if the conversation gets personal that quickly. You realize how important this was for me? I'll never get another opportunity like this again. Everyone riding on this. I want to try some. Try stepping back from the stage. Oh, hey, it's another lamppost. son of a bitch! I told you! That accident back in '03 was just a one-time thing! Fine. I don't need you anyway. Well, Kicker's offering me a much better deal. Oh, fuck. Now this is
The
working.
game
This is
ends
what
with
I
this
like.
eerie premonition of what's going to happen next in Coda's life. The solution to social anxiety, to fears
This is
of having
perfect.
to
Wonderful.
perform
This is
and
really
having
wonderful.
to chase success, the answer for Coda is to withdraw, to hide himself away. Which is what leads to scenarios like the stairs that slowed you down several games ago,
You're doing
where
great.
it just becomes harder and harder to access Coda's inner landscape because he keeps retreating. He just keeps backing away from possible connections to anyone other than himself. And to be honest, I didn't consider it very healthy when I first played this game. You know, it looked to me like he was trying to justify the idea of just disconnecting yourself from the world. And that wasn't what I wanted for him or for his games. Because I feel like a lot of his games are inviting me to connect with this person, to bring him closer.
Well, that's great and all, but I mean,
But
did you
what
see
can you
those
do?
gauges coming from me?
After this, Coda went off and took another 5 months to make a new game.
We're getting close to 2011, so Mobius Strip, to play this game properly, you need to keep your eyes closed, okay? My eyes are closed. I don't know what's going on. I'm opening my eyes. What the hell? Help, I'm going blind! Someone talk to me. The puzzle! No! No! Oh, it's... This is another loop. What's going on?
You should probably open your eyes if you haven't already. It's pretty much impossible to solve otherwise. And there is a solution, by the way.
Can someone tell me how to solve this? The only way to stop it is to speak something that is honest. I can't stop making these. I don't feel it no
Like I
more.
said, I was getting concerned. First off, he's never been this explicit in his work about exactly what he's thinking. So where's that coming from? But then even weirder,
I haven't been
his work
honest.
has potentially stopped being an outlet for him. Not like he's having trouble iterating on ideas, but he literally just can't think of new ideas anymore.
Stuck in it.
And in person, he was being a lot more distant than usual. Like, you know how sometimes a person will just deflect anything that you say in order to keep themselves disconnected all the time? It was that kind of thing. Here was the point in my relationship with Coda where I really started to wonder if he needed my help in some way. His games are going to get more desperate from here on out. After this game, it's almost 6 months before he finishes something new.
Where am I? Where did this island come from? Wow! That person? How lovely. It's been a long time since I've talked to anyone. What's wrong? You look lost. I try to create, I feel empty. Oh no. What happened? Did something change? There was a machine that kept me going, and it stopped. Wait, you're looking for a machine? I think I know where it is. It isn't far. I need to see it to know why it stopped. I can take you to it.
If the
But there's a
last
problem.
game featured
Started by a
Coda
difficult
talking
puzzle.
explicitly about his
Can we solve the
creative
puzzle? We'll find the
frustrations,
machine.
this one turns it
Deal?
up to 11. Now, put yourself in my shoes playing this. Here's a friend
Deal.
whose work is exhibiting signs of struggle, frustration, anxiety, depression, even. And yet, still, he keeps making games. He keeps throwing himself into the grinder even when he clearly doesn't have the energy for it anymore. Why? What is it for? Because from my perspective at the time and just what
Here's
I
the
knew
puzzle.
of him,
What do you think?
this was a result of how isolated he was. He was in
Hey,
his
I
own
recognize
little bubble,
this.
just sitting at his computer all
Oh,
day,
wonderful.
not really showing these games to
Can you tell
anyone,
me how to do it?
not releasing them onto the internet.
First, you have to
And
open
so
the door.
he didn't have anyone outside of himself to connect with. He had no outlet to ground himself on.
Door's already closed. Oh, whoops. First, you have to open the door. Okay, now what? Then you have to close the door. Then you press the switch here. Ah, that was so simple.
You can't
Can't believe I never
talk
solved it before
yourself
this.
out of loneliness. It doesn't work that way. You can't be the one writing both the questions and the answers. Then there's no movement. Then there's no circulation.
There's no
If
machine
all
here.
of your anxieties are being channeled into your work, then if the work ever fails, you have no backup and you're just
Listen,
going to
you have
crash.
to say that the work is fun and easy. You have to say that game development is simple and joyous, that you love it 100% of the time. Effortless. Why did I feel awful when I said that? Don't worry about it. Just keep talking. Keep saying the creation is easy. I'm constantly excited and enthusiastic about my work. Yes, that's wonderful. Go on.
Seeing this game at the time that he made it, it looked really
Every time I make something, I
unhealthy to me.
feel better about
I was
myself.
watching him do this to himself, and I hated it. I hated seeing him so trapped. It's like, video games are not worth this amount of suffering.
None of this is helping.
This is someone I really cared about.
Patience, you have to trust
And I
me.
used to get so
Promise
much
this will work.
joy out of seeing him create.
Please
For
continue.
him to suddenly become angry and frustrated like this, it was the worst
Any
thing.
sacrifices made for my work are worth it 100% of the time.
I don't know. This is what I felt at the time. I don't know how else to explain it.
There's
I
no
wanted
shame,
to
no
stop
fear,
more
or
than
guilt.
anything. I had never felt so rotten. I needed more than I had ever needed anything for this to stop. But it didn't stop. After finishing this one, Coda takes another 7 months and comes up with a new game.
2011. This might be his last game. The Machine. Ma'am, glad to see you've arrived safely. We've captured the machine. It's waiting for you now. You can begin the interrogation whenever you like. I intend to be quick. Just be warned that someone called the press, so we might have a bit of attention on this one. Also, one more thing that you should know about the machine. It calls itself Coda. Maybe Coda's the persona that the game developer made. Well, we get to see the machine. What will you do with it? Can you tell us how'd you capture the machine? Stopped.
And of course, it's the machine.
Your work was keeping us alive. It was only because of your creation that any of us can make it through every day. I've been so alone. Apologize for leaving me. Nothing? Alright then, I'll apologize to the people on your behalf. My followers! It falls on me to deliver the bad news. The machine will not apologize. But this is not important. We're stronger than it thinks we are. Let's show it that we're not just failures. We'll destroy this machine. Where'd it go? It ran off. Huh. Oh man. They're not joking. They really want to wipe the slate clean. I'll make sure your work dies here. Now, you're scared of having to have to live without your precious creations, having to deal with yourself.
So now the work is becoming self-destructive. And I'll tell you, at the time that I first played this game, shortly after he made it, here's what I'm thinking to myself. I'm thinking that code is stuck in his own head, and that it's having a very negative effect on him, and that all he needs to do is just start showing his work to people, to get some actual feedback on his games. It might get him out of isolation. And so, as I'm thinking this, I realize that I could be the one to initiate it. Because it would never occur to Coda to start actively soliciting feedback, so what if I did it for it? If he could see the difference it would make to have more actual conversations with other human beings, would that bring him out of his mental spiral? Would it give him confidence in himself? Would it bring meaning back into his work? So I started showing Coda's work to people. I took this one, and the islands which you just played, the theater, the notes, the house cleaning game, and some of the prison escape games. I brought them to people that I knew and trusted. I asked their opinions. And the great part is that they really loved his games. You know, the point of it all is just to give him some external reference point, but they genuinely loved his work. There was nothing for him to be afraid of.
I don't think he liked that. Put down your weapon. Oh yeah!
Can you see why I felt like this was the right thing to do? Because it's the thing that I always feel like I need, to be told that my work is good, that I am good. When someone really connects with a thing that I've made, when they see themselves purely in my work, there's nothing that feels better. And I got to give that very same feeling to my friend. I did something... I really felt like I'd done something good, like
I don't think you know what Coda's about at
felt
all.
like there was a friend who was in trouble and was unhappy and maybe didn't like themselves, and I could fix it. If I could give him this gift, maybe I could fix the problem. When they told me how much they enjoyed his games, it was the best feeling. It was the absolute best feeling. It made me feel so happy. So beautifully, beautifully happy.
I don't think you're a good person at all.
So anyway, Coda finishes this game, and then really he just kind of takes off for a while. So this is June of 2011, and I didn't hear anything from him for several weeks, I guess. And so out of nowhere, one day I get an email, and it's got a private link to a new game of Coda's. This one is called The Tower, and to my knowledge, it's the last game that Coda ever made. So let's take a look.
I think Coda was just using game development as a way to maybe like look at themselves in third person. Look at himself in third person. Maybe
and this is where I have trouble saying anything
it's not a
meaningful about
game,
Coda's
it's a
work.
look
Because
into his
more than
mind.
anything else, The Tower just feels distant. It feels like
It
it's
wasn't
trying
meant to be
distance
played
itself from the
by
world.
somebody else.
It's a very cold game. this room actually has a maze in it. Except that all the walls of the maze are invisible. And then every time you touch one of the walls, there's this awful flashing and noise, so the experience is really miserable. The game goes beyond not being meant to be played, it actually seems to despise the player for trying to play it at all. But I do want to show you the rest of the levels, so when you're ready to continue, press enter and I'll put a bridge over the maze.
Is there even a way past it? It was reminded of the Stanley Parable things, like the little pathways.
And to be fair, it's not like this is the first game that's needed some modification to be playable. Like the house cleaning game. You know, that one used to actually loop the cleaning chores and you just cleaned a house forever. I had to cut it off so that you could exit the house and the game would actually end. But that game had an idea that it was actually trying to communicate. What's the deeper idea behind the invisible maze? The only way past this challenge is to randomly guess the 6-digit code. Like the invisible maze, it's frustrating to me, because it's the opposite of everything else that Coda has made. It doesn't encourage thought or engagement. It doesn't ask anything of me, except a lot of my time. If I could have reached him during this time, then maybe I could have asked him, but I couldn't. I still don't really understand why this is here. I'll put the code on the ground for you here, though, so that we can move on.
151 617.
The switch to open this door is actually on the other side of the door, meaning that it's literally impossible to solve from this side. So even if you somehow brute forced your way through the first 2 challenges and you got to this point, there's actually just no way to progress. And it's scary for me, the idea of Coda cutting himself off entirely, just saying, you know, that's it, that's the end of the conversation, not giving me any way to fix the problem. I feel like a failure, I guess, when I can't fix the problem. But I can open this door for you, so let me do that.
Maybe Coda doesn't need you to fix their problem. Maybe
Was I
they
a
have to
failure
deal
for
with
not
things
understanding this game?
themselves.
I mean, I don't know why I would be. It's not like everything needs to have a solution, but I feel it somehow. I feel like I failed, and I don't understand why. I remember, it's June of 2011. I'm playing this for the very first time, and as I'm playing, I'm thinking to myself, I don't know this person. I have no idea who this person is. It wasn't the guy I knew, it wasn't my friend. I had come to so many conclusions from looking at all of his work up to this point, and then suddenly none of them...
And I feel like just listening to this guy, he focuses too hard on what he needs. He focuses too hard about thinking itself and not thinks about why it was made, if that makes sense. He tries to find so deeply to find a message and why and something was made rather than
that was the thing.
in like an analytical
For
way.
years I was trying to get to know him, to understand who he actually was and what he stood for. I asked him so many times to please just tell me what his games mean to him. I asked him please to tell me what the 3 dots mean. And he wouldn't.
Maybe it's not something for you to know. Like, I feel like this guy's focus is too hard on thinking about who Coda is and why they do what they do, and not like and trying to fix their problems and not think about like, hey, what's this person going through? Like, how can I be there for them?
Myself and someone else.
There it
I
is.
needed to be someone other than me. But he stopped and left, and it felt somehow like I had failed.
Sorry, what is it? I have to do little things here and there. And plus, like, there are people leaving, so.
Where did I screw up?
Dear Davey, thank you for your interest in my games. I
I'm
need
the
to ask you
reason
not to
that you
speak to
stopped
me
making
anymore.
games, aren't I? It's because of what I did. I
I
poisoned
wonder
you
at
for
times
me.
whether you think I'm making these games for you.
I don't think I ever told you this, but when I took your work and I was showing it to people, it
You so
actually felt
infected my personal space that it's possible I did
it
begin to
felt as
plant
though
solutions in my
I were
games somewhere
responsible
in
for
between the
something
games.
important and
If there was an
valuable.
answer, Minnie, would it make you any happier? Would you stop
And
taking my games
the
and showing them to
people who
people against my
played
wishes,
them,
giving them something
they
that is not
treated
yours to
me like
give, violating the
I
one
was
boundary that keeps
important.
me safe? Would
You
you stop
really
changing my
listened and
games,
cared
stop
about
adding
what I
lampposts to
had
them?
to say. Even though I was showing your work, I
You
felt
simply let
good
them be what
about
they are.
myself. Finally.
When I'm
For
around
a
you, I feel
moment,
physically ill.
while
You
I
desperately
had
need
that,
something that I cannot
I
give to you. You
liked
literally
myself.
don't have it. Struggling to come up with new
And
ideas
then
is
you
not making me
stopped,
depressed. The low points
and
are
I
just
didn't
part of the
have anything left
process.
to show people.
The fact that you think I'm frustrated or
I
broken
just
says
had
more
to
about you
be
than
with
about me.
myself. And as soon as that
I realize
happened,
that this doesn't make
there was
sense to
no
you just
feeling at
yet,
all.
which is fine. You're not my problem
Nothing.
to solve.
Less
But I
than
do hope that
nothing.
one day it clicks that you made peace with
What
this
does
thing
that
that you are
mean?
wrestling.
I'm afraid that I did
And when you
something
finally
really
see what I'm
stupid
talking
because I
about,
don't like myself.
don't say anything. I find that funny. You couldn't do the one thing
That's
that he asked.
why I'm releasing this collection of your work, is because I haven't been able to find any other way to reach you. I've tried everything. And so a part of me has hope that if I put this compilation out into the world, and if I put my name on it, that maybe enough people will play it so that it'll find its way to you, so that I can tell you that I'm sorry. I know I screwed up. If I apologize to you truly and deeply, will you start making games again? Please, I need to feel okay with myself again. And I always felt okay as long as I had your work to see myself in. I mean, is something wrong with me?
Mm-hmm.
Because I know that I did an awful thing, and I'm doing it again right now. Like, I'm showing people your work, but I can't stop myself from doing it. That's how badly I need to feel something again, like I'm an addict. There has to be something wrong with me. Can I apologize? What if I
I feel
tell you
like
I
the
was
most
wrong? Will
evil
that
thing
work? Will
about
that
it
fix it? I don't know. I don't think
isn't
it will,
even
but
the
there's nothing else that I
apology,
can do. Just
isn't
tell
even
me
like
what you want. I'm sorry.
the
I'm sorry.
like
Please, start
stealing
making
of the
games
work.
again. Please help me. Please
But
give me
Coda
some of
literally
whatever
asked
it is that
one
makes you
thing,
complete. I want
not to say
whatever that
anything.
wholeness is that you
And
just
here you
summoned
are,
out of nothing and you put
saying
into your
everything.
work. You were complete in some way that I never was. And I want to know I want to know how to be a good person. I want to know how not to hate myself. Please. I'm fading, and all I want is to know that I'm going to be okay.
Epilogue. So there was no meaning behind the games, it was all just fake. There were some low points for sure, but I don't know if, like, it was necessarily as bad as he was thinking.
More love, more praise, more people telling me that I'm good. Always more. It's like a disease.
I know that, but this is why Coda cut you off, dude.
Solution.
You focus so hard on just making yourself seem cooler to people just because you think you're deep. I told you, Coda didn't think it was probably this deep.
I guess if someone had told me ahead of time that he just really enjoyed making prison games, maybe I wouldn't have thought he was so desperate. I wouldn't have told so many people that he was depressed. Maybe he just likes making prisons. Even now, the disease is telling me to stop. Don't show people what a shitty person you are. They'll hate you.
You don't even have to do this either. You could have just stopped. You could have just not done anything. Learned your lesson and keep it pushing. But you can't do that.
If I knew that my life depended on finding something to be driven by other than validation, what would that even be? It's strange, but the thought of not being driven by external validation is unthinkable. Like, I actually cannot conceive of what that would be like. What now? I think I need to go. And I'm sorry, because I know that I said that I would be here and I would walk you through this, but I'm starting to feel like I have a lot of work to do. I have a lot that I need to make up for. And so I'm just gonna... Okay.
I want to say that's a step in the right direction, but I don't know. You already went this far. It takes a lot of effort for somebody to change, especially for the better. Hmm. I wonder how someone comes up with an idea like this. I feel like I see a lot of myself in both Coda and the narrator, where I feel like I make things and people just get so, like, obsessed in figuring out why I do the things that I do. But I also feel like I'm the narrator where I do the exact same thing, you know what I mean? Sometimes it's so easy to fall into the trap of, okay, well, this person expects this of me, so I guess I gotta put something in there for them. But it also is like, sometimes I think I know people and I don't. And I feel like this, like, preconceived notion of what I think is true gives me ideas of these people that maybe isn't true. Who knows? There will always be assumptions, there'll always be ideas, but how far can it go without it being hurtful or even unhealthy? Whoa. Gosh dang. Look at that. What a beautiful game this is. I feel like these type of games are important whenever you think about, like, people. So many people can be Coda, so many people can be the narrator, some people can be a mixture, some people can be even neither.
Turn back from this cave. You said, let me prove that I'm brave. Let me keep going. But the cave goes for miles and miles and miles. And you're so tired, but I know that you're strong.
Well, that was the beginner's guide. I gotta say, this is one of the deeper games that I think I've ever played. I hope you all have a lesson that you can get out of this, and I hope you also leave a like and subscribe. I will see you all next time. FYB out.